Well, I think it was Woody Allen who said that 80% of your chance of success is based on just turning up. So you may think this happens as a common practice because it's common sense, but we can assure you that's not the case. So this is all part of your commitment level. You need to show it rather than tell it. So you need to visit the country, you need to get a feel of the culture, and best, you should be interviewing the actual candidates in the region.
So the theory is dead simple. You just follow the principle of when in Rome and get hip with the cultural differences. But did you hear the one about the software company who wanted to interview sales executives in Germany, in Munich, on a Sunday? Yeah, and guess what? The HR director turned up half an hour late.
It's actually not just about identifying the cultural differences, it's often about respecting them. So you take Germany as an example, which has, for an American or British software company, it's a horrific situation with long notice periods of 3 months. But of course, that transition often is highly respectful for their customers, and so one needs to recognise that that's a good part of their business. They may call you Mr. or Herr when they're being interviewed, and again, that's perfectly normal culture in Germany. You don't necessarily need to change that. And they're much more likely to be suited and booted an interview in the middle of a Frankfurt banking district than they would be in San Francisco or Berkshire in the UK. So identify the differences, but also respect them.
Please don't shoot the messenger. But this is what the candidates are saying. It's just too noisy out there. There's adverts all over social media. They don't know which one to respond to, who to respond to, and so more often than not, they don't respond at all.
So whether you're running the recruitment project as part of an in-house team or using a third-party search firm, strong advice is to use one channel, one Reuters, one press agent to take this to market. If you take an example like Germany, German candidates absolutely hate seeing one role splashed all over social media, adverts on LinkedIn, etc. You're looking to get top talent, you're often looking to headhunt them from primary competitors, so you need to take one channel to market to pitch the story.
Now, of course, we know that every recruitment plan is always backed up with a business plan, right?
Well, over the years, the parachute sales model is quite attractive and quite popular for British and American software companies, for example. So going into a territory like Germany, they'll say, well, we'll put an individual there and see how it goes. There's a problem. The candidates on the ground absolutely hate that line of thinking. They'll want some kind of plan, they're looking for some kind of longer commitment, of course based on their achievement, but they want a business plan, ideally documented alongside the recruitment plan. And if you think that's cynical or very skeptical, you've got to remember times in the past when, for instance, 2002, when many American companies went in droves, just left Germany. So let's look at some of the basic things that candidates will look to see in place as part of that commitment. Is there a local limited company formed yet, or is there an intention to do so? A GmbH is the example in Germany. Is there a local employment contract that's endorsed under German law? Have you already thought about that, or is it something you're going to look at after the process? Anything that you delay thinking about is a sign of lack of commitment.
Just tell me if this sounds familiar to you. Sales is sales, right? I mean, it's a people business. Just how different can it be in a new region?
We're trying to get good sales success as quick as possible, so you need to recognise the local practices. So taking Germany as an example, very different from the US and UK markets where you can often approach a huge brand, for instance in financial services, and sell direct and get a new win relatively quickly. In the Germany market, you nearly always have to go through a channel partner. So you're interviewing those candidates according to their channel sales skills, not just their direct sales skills.
Psychometrics, yep. Just the mention of the word sends most people in sales into a panic. Because after all, what they're going to do when they find out where the bodies are buried?
So the good news is that most of the leading psychometric firms now do offer tests in the local language, and then they can report back in the client's language to headquarters. So local in German and then report back in English. But it's incredibly important when you start looking at the operating styles of these individuals. You're looking to recruit and retain them over a period of time. So you need to know how collaborative they are, how they operate on the ground, because you're managing them remotely. So I think we're agreed, huge challenges going into the Germany market, but fantastic rewards. You're then growing revenues in the economic powerhouse of Europe. So good luck.